I'd call the meeting to order, the Budget Committee, on October the 6th, 2022, and the first order of business will be to elect a chairman. And so I will open the floor for nominations.
Make a motion to nominate Wendell.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Is there a motion for nominations to cease?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Marlowe, will you accept the Budget Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll turn it over to you.
We do have a set of minutes.
You might want to elect, don't we do a vice chairman?
We do, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'll
all
let
right.
Unless you want to do it all by yourself.
I'll let you do that.
Just means you can't miss.
Okay, we do need to elect a vice chairman. Anyone like to nominate someone for that position?
Don't everybody jump up and down.
I nominate Don Weathers.
Oh, God, Lord.
I knew I was in town.
Any other nominations? Someone move to nomination cease?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Diane, will you accept the position?
Yes, sir. Because you have.
All right. Now we'll move on to the minutes.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any questions or concerns? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Aaron?
Finance report's in your packet. Of course,
Woo-hoo.
October is when we start to receive property tax, so, you know, you'll see that you've taken in almost $6 million in revenue for the first 3 months of the fiscal year, and you've spent, or we've spent 16 million, almost 16 and a half. So, property tax coming in will turn that around for us, between now and February, and we'll just have to hold on and see where we wind up exactly at the end of the year. I expect to be, even or close there too, would be my expectation. We'll say adequate facilities tax right now is holding its own. It's not blowing things out of the water, but we're 25% through the fiscal year, and we've collected 25% of the adequate facilities tax. So we're on target with what we budgeted. I don't see anything, having reviewed the report, that I consider to be in any way problematic. So I'm happy with where we're at for this particular moment in the year. And then your fund balance report is behind that.
Is there a motion to approve Aaron's report?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, budget amendments.
First budget amendment is for animal control. They're taking 2,000. They're recognizing 2,000 in donations, and they need it to purchase medical supplies.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Second one is for drug court. It's a request to transfer funds for the use of additional state grant amount that is reimbursable to the county. The attached grant proposal is on the second page. This is a new grant proposal that Ms. Paula Langford, the director, has gotten. This is, I won't read to you, but basically 10,000 for drug screens, and or 10,000 total. 10,000 total is what the grant is.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Excuse me.
The next one is debt service. It's a formula error. It's my fault. When we do the budget, we have to break the budget down between education and general government on the interest and principal on the debt. I had a formula error in there, so I had to correct. It's $284,000. Before you get too excited about that, your fund balance in that fund is $44,837,564. So there's plenty of money to cover it, but it is a mistake on my part, and I will always tell you when I make a mistake.
Motion be approved.
Second.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Juvenile Services requesting funds to purchase items for the SOAR program activities.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second to approve the amendment. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Any opposed?
Sorry, I got out ahead. The entry for rural debt is primarily to book the principal and interest payments on the new debt issue that was just done for West Wilson Middle. So that's the 2.3 million in principal and the 1,406,000 in interest. The remainder is, again, that little formula thing that I have.
Motion be approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions? Comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
The sheriff's department needs to move $1,519 out of the deputy line into detectives. That is basically to adjust detective pay rate equal to all other detectives for 26 pay periods for fiscal year '23.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or concerns? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Veterans, I think LeBronia said that we were short in what they were supposed to have in temporary personnel. So that's a request to transfer to correct where we miskeyed a line in their budget. $3,420.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next thing you have in there is a grant for animal control. This is animal-friendly spay and neuter grant. It's $1,000 from the state. Miss Paula and Miss Mary are here if you have any questions, but my recollection from talking to them is there is no match for this grant, correct? It's just $1,000, so all you need to do is accept the grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
You have a federal grant here, again with no match, $23,360 for the enforcement of Tennessee driving under the influence laws. Again, I'm just asking that you accept the grant.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the grant. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Tourism, copy machine. They have a contract in here for 60 months at $115.09 is the base rental charge.
Is this with who is this with?
This is Novatech, which is, it's gonna be, I believe, this one is a Canon, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to find it real quick.
What is this?
Yeah, it's a Canon. They do several different brands.
Yeah, it's Canon.
Yeah.
They're a local company?
I don't know where Novatech is. I think they're out of Nashville, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah, I believe they're out of Nashville.
Is this the one that was brought to us?
No, I've got that one for you. I will point out, I don't know what page it's on, but, so what's included in the 11509 is 100 black and white pages per month at 0.136 cents and 350 color pages per month at 0.077 cents. So when you see 11509, you'd actually have to know how many black and white copies and how many color copies, et cetera, to actually come up with the exact monthly fee. That will become important in a minute when I bring mine back up.
So okay, let me get this straight. The 11509
Includes 100 black and white pages
and 350 color.
and 350 color. So basically, that is included in the 11509. Anything over that will be charged at either .0136 for a black and white copy or .077 for a color copy,
So subject to change.
subject to change.
I'd like to kind of know the number of what they're printing per month, because that's, that seems,
You don't know until you do it. Right?
Well, I mean, I could find out from their previous vendor potentially, you know, how many copies they make, or how many prints, rather, but more appropriate way to say it.
That's coming out of their fund.
It is. I mean, they have the money for it.
sure.
Okay, all right. Is there a
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay.
LeBron has been doing, and did, tourism. Tourism didn't show up tonight, right? Are you doing it for? Okay, all right. So I will turn it over then to Mr. Brown.
Well, I'm gonna turn it over, but he didn't have anything, so he just asked me to state that.
He's accepting.
Okay.
There's nothing to add tonight.
Nothing to add tonight. So we had in there last month, we had in there, and I know LeBronya's been going through the webinars that they've been putting on. Over the course of years, the state, probably federal money passing through the state, has allocated $403,020.15. Be split over the program years, which I think is 4 years. Could be 5. We brought this last month. Jason was gonna show up and talk about it, and he didn't. And I can't really tell you a great deal different from what I just told you. So if you want to defer it again, you can defer it again, but at some point, you know,
It's a good amount of money,
it's a big amount of money, yeah,
and they're giving it to us.
correct.
Motion to approve.
Okay, there's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any additional questions or concerns?
What exactly did you, are we
To
taking
accept,
this
we're gonna
in?
take the
Is this a
grant.
grant?
We're accepting.
It is a grant,
So we're accepting the grant?
yes.
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Then it's education,
Man.
there it is.
Let's start with, first amendment we have is reclassifies bus driver training contract services. Moves restricted accounts from prior year fund balance to be used in current year. Records that part of our Deltec revenue. Moves current petition at BTA from secretary to bookkeeper, reclassification. Adds highway retirement for one certified employee and one in technology. And allocates our adult ed funds so they have that at school level. Also, adds substitute lines instructional support. And this budget amendment does not request any additional money out of fund balance. Budget amendment total of 163,026.93.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve amendment number 2. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 3.
Number 3 is the budget amendment that moves designated funds for capital outlay expenditures for prior year fund balance to be used in current year. Amends the budget for an increase in contract amount for welding instructor, increased contract service costs for contracting crossing guards at Watertown schools. Does not request any additional money out of fund balance, and the breakdown of capital outlay projects includes Mount Street Middle renovation, some work at Watertown Middle, demolition of Watertown Middle football stadium, and elementary schools take care of their mulch, and moving of 10 portables that will be moved to West Elementary and Mount Juliet Middle School.
There a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Questions?
I do have one question. Just like the demolition of the stadium up there, how do y'all put that out to bid? Do you make it open to all
Oh,
the
yeah.
counties? I mean,
Yeah, we
it's no
bid it.
trouble to know it if you're in that business.
Should not be any trouble at all, because most of them are watching, they get that information,
Okay.
and we put it out, you know, when we did demolition in West Wilson Middle, company out of Alabama coming here, got it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think they're getting it out.
Tommy, one thing that I learned recently, after 11 years, is there are companies out there that do nothing but watch for public notices in rinky-dink newspapers.
Well, the reason I asked is a lot of local contractors are always asking me, why wasn't I given an opportunity?
Yeah,
And
no, I understand.
No, I want them to.
I
of
understand.
course, I'd love to see somebody from home get these contracts.
And well, I would too. Yeah, I wanted the best dollar, to be honest. And you would think somebody local could do it cheaper than somebody out of state.
But that was my
Yeah,
question.
and
Are
we
making-
post it on our website, and, yeah, and if you got any ideas how we can get it out, because I want, the more bidders you get, the better price you
Well,
can get.
And you can pass if you want to.
There's motion and a second.
You got it.
All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? Okay, Mayor?
Is it next for me?
I think so, sir. I don't,
I think we want to do surplus stuff.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I got. You asked me to go and check a proposal for that 109 property. Asking somebody to check in on that. I did check back out to Taylor Vanderberg. He said his cost would be $7,500 to contract with him. He did believe, knowing that the numbers that we have right now, that he could help with that process. We also said that we would stipulate that he would keep it at the amount that was offered the first time, that we're back to a clean slate, and definitely wanted to try to get more than that for sure. And he felt like he could do that if that's what you wanted to do. Couldn't give me an exact price, but he thought he could, felt like he could beat the 40. So it's up to you guys, if y'all want to take the 40, or if you want to engage with Taylor Vanderberg. It's
What was-
CRV Group.
What was the amount that was offered?
We offered 40,500 and they are at 30. And, what they told me is they can't get to the 40,500 unless we give them some basis to do it. Which basically means an appraiser is willing to testify in court that it's worth that much.
And so the 7,500,
That's
he
what it's
felt
gonna
like he
cost.
could still beat, he still felt like he could beat the 40.
He could beat the
Above that.
40?
That's what yeah, because otherwise it would pay for us.
Right.
So, but he couldn't give me a guaranteed number as well.
Well, that's,
Did y'all ever decide how much land we're talking about, the actual area of it?
It's a slither,
vast,
wasn't
it
it?
was small.
Yeah, it's not much. I didn't look at
Just
it before I
a
came
little
up here, Tommy. I'm sorry. It's not much.
Mayor, Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would that include an appraisal of the whole piece of property or just the, is Robert,
That would, what that includes in this contract he gave me is for him to go and to fight for us to get more. He'll do the whole 9 years the appraisal, go into court, trying to make sure that we get.
I'm sorry, I guess I meant, is he just appraising the strip that we're losing or appraising the actual, that whole piece of property, the value of it? Does that make sense? If we were ever gonna sell that property, we're ever having an appraisal.
But we don't have an option to sell the property. It's already been taken by the state. We're just trying to get our money back out of it.
Maybe I'm mistaken, is this not the strip that goes down where Lima is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so I
Yeah.
guess, does that include the piece of property that the actual station sits on as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they took.
He's just gonna do the appraisal on the property that they took from us.
Okay.
And try to get us more than what we've been offered so far.
What do you think, Mr. County Attorney?
I have no idea what properties were. I do not.
Me either.
It's very valuable.
it's 109.
Listen to Chad.
But how big is it?
Well, that's, I mean,
It
if we're
not
talking
much,
about
is
a,
It ain't much bigger than this room.
It's a slither.
I
you
guess
know?
it's a small piece of property.
Are you certain?
I'd say we,
I mean, if we pay him 7,500
Yeah,
and we do get
40.
40,500,
Still
we're
back where
only
we
gonna,
started.
2,000.
only gonna get about $2,500 more.
And it takes longer to get it, right? Because it's gonna take time to get it.
That's why I was asking if he would, if that included the whole piece of property, because down the road, that's not the safest place for a wing
Yeah.
station to be right now.
Sell it and get another part building.
And we're not too far from having to move that station.
Knowing the exact size of it would make a lot of difference to me to, you know.
Well, if it's not much bigger than this room, then you're not gonna get anything
Well, I
but
agree,
a
but,
ice
Jerry
cream
said the
station.
you know,
lot
I
is-
asked last month.
I'll yield to that.
And they do sell property by the foot in this county now, you know?
exactly, they sure do.
Well, I mean, you're spending 75 to, I mean, if you got
To get
40, to
2,000.
make 25 more hundred.
Uh-huh.
So 25 more hundred is 25 more hundred. He may get 50, he may get 60.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'd be.
Might not.
But he wouldn't go, yeah,
It's like
he wouldn't
going
go
to
on that.
two.
But I
Ain't
but I did
no
have the
way.
conversation to say, look, I don't wanna spend 7,500 if you're gonna come back and tell me I'm only gonna get 35,000. And he said it won't be that. So I said, well, is there a number I can go back and tell him? He said, well, just something, what I'll have to work on, but I said, I think I can go, be north of 40.
Mm.
But again, that's not a guarantee. So, but I mean, that's,
You say how long it take him to do it?
no, he's done a few other ones though. So he has his other data on that.
You have a recommendation?
Yeah, let's hear
Dealt
it.
with it.
Bird in hands, worth two in the bush, too.
I mean, I guess if we, we wanna get all the money we can get out of that for the taxpayer, then I felt comfortable in saying he'll be north of 40. So
You're saying let him go.
I'm saying let him take it and see
I'll
what he can
make
get
that-
for us.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion and a second to approve. Let's move it forward with
CRV
the
Group.
appraisal of the property on
CRV
109.
Group.
CRV Group, commercial real estate, valuation
That's-
consulting.
Got it.
CRV Group will
You
work.
got it. You got it.
I got it.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right.
I got two more things. Can I bring them at this time? Okay. Want to give you right quick, just a diagram of the ARP funds that we've spent so far and where we spent them at. You had $154,000 and 478 left. With that, there's been a request by WEMA, which is on the second page there. They wanted to purchase CPR devices that go in the trucks and in the other places. The actual request they needed was, you'll see at the bottom of the first page, they needed $302,463.44. Of course, we don't have that part, we don't have that much, but they could get the 150, they could get the 154 if you chose to do so with this and get at least 7 of them. They really wanted 16 devices, that totals that. So you could get 7 of them at 141,000, or you could give them the 154 if you chose to do so. They could go to the WEMA committee and ask for that money to come out of fund balance or whatever. So they'd have one of these devices in every one of their vehicles. The price is going to go up in the month, but we did get a bid on this. That's good through the 21st of this month if you choose to do this. But it does qualify under, and it takes care of the rest of this money. If you want to do that, if you don't want to, it's okay too. Questions? So you did break down the total. 7 of them was $141,068.13. If you just got 11, that'd be $216,000, and of course, 16 total is $302,000.
Okay, and if we approve that, that would be all of the ARP funds?
That would take care of all your ARP funds, yes, and it would get them at least 7. If they wanted to try to get more, they would have to move pretty quick, because they got to get it done within the month.
Can I ask a question, just procedurally? You said go to the WEMA committee and try to get the money for the additional, but your bids are locked into the 21st.
21st.
So we need, if it comes to this committee, it needs to go to the county commission on the 17th, this amount,
Yes.
and then they can do whatever from then on.
Yeah, I'm really just concerned about these 7 that they can purchase with this, and then if they want to do the rest of them, that's what they asked for, that's when they would have
That just-
answered that.
Because I don't think they'll have time to get in front of the Weaver committee, and the
And I mean-
packet goes out Monday, so.
Yeah, I mean, and this committee here, I guess, has the authority to take the rest of it out of fund balance if you want to do that. It's up to y'all too, but,
It's true.
yeah.
7's better than none.
Yeah, I make a motion, I'd like to put on the floor a motion to give them 7.
Were you, 154, 478? Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Don't even put words in your mouth.
No, yes, sir.
So, and let me, Aaron, help me out here. Really, all he needs, for the 7
41.
is 141,000.
That's the reason I asked that question. Then you're gonna have 13,000 sitting there you haven't done anything with.
Yeah,
You'll
I'll have to
spend
come,
it.
I'll have to come back to you with something else for
Okay,
that. But
so
can
I
do
just
that.
need to know what amount to put,
Yeah.
give me that amount
I
again.
think to give them the right amount here is $141,068.13.
Okay.
I take care of that.
Can you? All right.
And then we'll figure out where to spend the rest of it.
All right.
Okay? If that's what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay, there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah, I put down Diane, she'd already said that.
Okay, I did it.
Then you go.
Okay, any other questions or concerns? All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Any opposed?
Got one more thing. Remember back when we did the pay study, there are a few people that got, that we do not, or didn't think about taking a look at. And I promise that we'll do that in the next pay study when we do that. That's Beer Board, Board of Equalization, Board of Zoning Appeals, Planning. It seems like I'm leaving out one more. But if you remember, Mr. Gentry brought up about the election commission at the time. I got with Miss Tammy, she's here tonight to talk on this. Give you the short version. She did a pretty good study of almost 60 different groups of people to see what they're paying. HR did one as well for them, and as well as those other committees that I may bring back to you at a different time. But what she wants to present tonight is what you see in front of you, and I'll let you talk from there. Or
I
you-
was asked to be present tonight to present this. To fund this for this election would be 6160. I will say it has not been, nothing's been given by the election commission yet. I don't think they would have a problem with it, but, we don't have we haven't come formally to request it, but I was asked to be here to discuss this. So, this is what I put together. I talked to 60-something counties to get an idea of how much they're paying their officers and the poll workers. So you can see what you have in front of you. We are a little bit low, and I would always say our poll workers deserve everything that we can give them. They work hard, so you guys can look at this. If you have any questions, just let me know.
So just for point of clarification, she needs total 18,480 for a year's worth of election. But we only have one election left, which is in November. So if you chose to give her the 6160, you could do that. But she has a maintenance of effort that has to be met. So
it's
once you give her that, she has that from here on out. So you could address it at next budget
Yeah.
season if you chose to do so. Or you could do the 6160 now. Then I'm assuming that would have to come out of the growth money, Aaron, at the very beginning of next year. And I'm not sure who keeps up with that. I know we've already maybe done that once, but that would have to be addressed off of next year's needs if you want to go ahead and move on that. So you can wait. I'm hoping to push the other ones to the budget season so we don't have to do that problem, to have that. But she's got one election left, and if you approve it in the county commission, or before the county commission approves it, if they were to approve it on Monday night, 2 weeks away, she's going to go to the election commission before that, just to get their blessing too.
We have a meeting on the 16th.
Yeah, if you choose to do that.
So we're doing it backwards.
Well, she just hadn't had a chance to get to her election commission yet.
And these are part-time people, right?
They are.
Okay, and we've already been through 2 elections this year.
We have.
We got 1 more to go. So why can't we wait and do this when budget season starts next year?
Sure could.
That's just me thinking, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mr. Gentry, brought it up, and that's
We
why we're,
mentioned him, but-
and we took it to Ms. Tammy. and-
Assuming you approve it, based on her approval from the election commission, is that how that works? Personally, I'm in favor of it because,
I am too, I
you
just
know,
think the
a
timing's
lot of
bad.
workers over there, and I don't know them all, I know a few, they don't live near me, but they approach me.
Yeah, I just think the timing's bad. I know the negative. I've done it once. It's bad.
We have good people.
You do, all over. You do.
Has the election commission brought this up at all before now?
Not really. We have discussed it vaguely, with the idea, because I just came in January, was asked not to ask for money right very beginning. So I thought that was a good plan. No.
The individuals, like I said, we've already had 2, we've got 1 more, and the individuals that's participated previously, they're already used to a certain amount already, so it probably wouldn't hurt to wait. But what's the will of the committee?
I have a comment, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
The way I'm looking at it though is they've already served twice in 2 elections for us. We gave our other employees a bonus throughout the year and through COVID and all that mess. Why don't we just give it to them now? And so they do get that extra money and we can show them favor. We appreciate what they do and value what they do.
True, I
I
agree.
agree with that.
But
Good
we
thing.
do have a process and we do our budgets in the spring.
How much money is it?
$18,000, $18,480.
And that's
It's
reoccurring.
not bad,
That's
it's not bad at all,
Yeah.
but
Yes, but.
Who's
you
gonna
have
come
to
next
do
week?
election.
With another
6160
raise.
this time.
It's only 6,000.
And I think this is what we missed, that Mr. Gentry, recognized that we missed the elected folks that help us out. That's just my thank y'all.
We've got other part-time people.
yeah, we didn't do any part-time people.
So we are working on what they call temporary folks. We are working on those right now, and we'll bring those to you when we get a good assessment. But HR's been taking care of that.
Yeah, that's the only distinction I wanted to make. We did do part-time people. We didn't do seasonal or temporary people. So that's kind of the distinction.
I would love to see it all of them brought at the same time. I hate to single out any group.
It opens up another can, I think, and I want them to get their money, not today. Wasn't me.
The wall started falling.
Made somebody mad.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Tammy, would it hurt you if it didn't come now? Or would it
They
help,
just
help
don't
you?
get that additional.
I know, but are the people gonna serve and?
I
or
suspect they
office?
will, this isn't something that I
They
have
ain't bus
discussed with
drivers.
the poll officials.
Okay.
Throughout the years, I've said, we get those comments, we need a raise, I said,
Yeah,
we're gonna try to do that, but, I don't think so, cause many of them do it because it's a civic duty. But do I think they deserve a raise?
They do.
Absolutely, they work hard, they do a great job. But I understand all the comments.
My concern is if we're giving all the county employees and, tempting everybody raises and they don't, but they look disgusted on what we've done, have not done for them.
but they're not county employees.
That's the comments I have.
What's the current rate that they're paid right now?
It varies, anywhere from 125 to, this last time they got one of them, I gave them some for mileage, so 250, some of them made. But some of them, they set up and they do more work. I mean, they do a lot.
So it's a daily rate?
No, it was by positions, different positions, and I can give you this copy, but, each county pays by position depending on what their job is. Some have more responsibility than others, so it's a range, but 125 to 250, I'd say. And so, yes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, as a former poll worker, it is a long, long day.
It is an
You're there
awful-
like
it's
6
an
a.m. in the
awful-
morning, you don't leave until everything is verified,
Mhm.
sometimes 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
So,
It is.
my own little opinion is go ahead and give them the raise now. It's well overdue. It's only $6,160.
It's 18,000. I'd rather wait until the election commission blesses it, instead of
Well,
us jumping in front of it.
With their approval.
I agree with that. I think it should go through commission, or a committee, like every committee does.
That's all I got against it.
I mean, not saying that, like, everybody, I speak for myself, I wanna see him get a raise, I really do. I do, but I want it to be done the right process, the way we do it.
Is that process too late?
It is this
They
year.
haven't, yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm hearing from the room, everyone wants to give it to them, but we're not.
Because we have a process. I'm pretty OCD, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Black or white, that's the way
Is
I
any
think.
other committee members, is there any other discussion? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to ask Aunt Tammy a question. Are you in favor? You have to deal with people, you know, the kind of people you got.
We would love to too.
Because, you know, it could work the other way where we're motivating people for the money to do it,
That's
when
right.
that's not why really you do that, because there's not enough in it.
Right.
So you're in favor of it,
Of course
if
she is.
if it'll help you.
I think they deserve a raise, but I understand all the concerns. That I did not come before the committee this year because I was asked not to, by my commission. So, they are the ones that I work for ultimately, so I did not do that. Do I believe they need a raise? Yes, absolutely.
We know,
So-
we know, I agree.
But the election commission asked you not to come this year for it.
Because I've just started in this position.
Will they meet between now and the next?
We meet the 16th. We're gonna meet on a Sunday, because we have a machine inspection, so we'll have a meeting the same day.
And so just remember the process of what happens when we talk about going through the process. And it is always easier to just pay at budget time, no question about that. This got brought up because the commissioner had a concern, brought it to y'all on the floor. We deferred it and said, hey, let me work on the details. I went back to her. She said exactly what she just said to you. My election commission said, hey, let's don't push that envelope this year because we're new. But I still had a commissioner that said, hey, let's do the homework. So we did the homework. I met with her. That's how we got here. It is $6,160. It's not a lot of money, but it's the same deal that we run into, if you remember back when we did WEMA. We all wanted to get a raise, but we
And that's
we
what
felt
I'm
like that
running
one-
from.
we felt like that one was bleeding, and so we had to do that one.
What do you,
Yes.
what day did you say you was meeting on the 16th?
16th.
So they're
2
gonna,
o'clock.
That's before the county commission.
Yeah.
so they'll have an opportunity to bless it or not, if we move forward with it.
And just to give John credit, our poll workers know that election commission doesn't give the raise. County commission is the one who can give poll workers raises. And so, that's, when they've asked me, that's, I couldn't do anything because my hands were tied. And so, I do give them credit for going through the channels to try to get them, a raise.
Commissioner Bernard?
I've had a couple of judges ask me about helping some of their folks, and somebody probably can help me. I think they get, $150?
A judge, they make more.
They have been through the process. They are called temporary folks. It has been given to, it actually was done during the pay study. It was given back to the clerks, and that's where it lies at right now with the clerks. So it has its opportunity, but the clerks will come see you when they are ready to do that. But it did go through
Right.
HR.
Well, I just think that we'll all vote for this, I'm sure, but we do have that budget time that we do look at that.
That's right.
And they're all gonna start coming after us,
That's
and
right.
we wanna help everybody,
Mhm.
so That was my
Good job.
point.
Okay, any additional, well, we had all the questions and concerns and comments. Is there a motion from the committee to approve the 6160 at this point in time? Is there a motion to approve the 6160 for the election committee at this time? There is no motion, so there's no action to be taken.
So what we'll tell, so Ms. Tammy could bring this back during the needs list, talk to your committee and.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, we do have, Mike, we don't have to approve these.
You can do all of them one time,
We have a,
yeah?
if you wish. Can I ask you a question here? Did I miss something? Animal control state grant, animal friendly spay and neuter. Is that what we, is that the $1,100?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure I struck it off my list. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I'm done.
okay, is there a motion to approve the surplus list that have been provided?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or concerns about anything on the list? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Is there any new business?
I will say one thing, insurance and finance will meet at 6:30 on Monday night before the commission meeting, just to elect a chair. And Aaron may give one policy out as we're working towards the AAA bond for you to look at on the finance side. But we will meet at that time to elect a chair. 6:30.
6:30 before the commission.
Yes, sir.
One of those goes to Tommy.
Once he got mine.
Sir?
Insurance gonna get
Just all meet at 6:30.
Everybody just show up early.
So I don't get in trouble.
6:30.
Hey, Aaron, what are we looking at?
All right, you're looking at the lease that we brought with Xerox back 2 or 3 months ago. And we were asked to go, look at some alternatives, which we did. And these aren't cherry picked. These are, Novatech, you heard earlier, for tourism. Dex is a company that we do business with. We also looked at Canon. I don't have them on my list right now. But so the big thing is we talked about per copy. I wanted to point that out to you. If you look down in the print charges section of this particular contract, it includes 10,000 black and white and 5,000 color. We make about 4,500 color prints a month and about 8,000 black and white. These other companies, depending, but you can see their additional charge for color. They don't give you very much for color at all. So when you take their base charge, add what they charge for black and white on that count, and what they charge for color on that count, far and away the cheapest is Xerox. We're happy with their service. They're always here within, hours of a phone call, the same day. So we have not had a problem. I know some other people have. We would prefer to stay where we are. They are with U.S. Communities, who's one of the cooperatives that we're allowed to purchase from. That's where this particular deal comes from, with the 10,000 black and white impressions included and the 5,000 color impressions included. That's what we prefer to stay with. But again, if y'all send me back to do more work, I'll go back and do more work. Although I don't know that it'll change anything.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or concerns?
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
Just know what you're getting before the comment.
I definitely do.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, any other business? Mr. Mayor, you have anything else? Okay. Aaron?
No.
All right.
I will say one thing. You asked me about putting the old post office on the sale. We spent the month really cleaning it up and waxing and getting everything done and everything moved out of the back. So it will start this month, okay? Just to let you know.
Are we gonna try to advertise it differently this time?
We are,
Either
yes,
the
sir.
same way I talked about a while ago?
This is
If nothing
152,
else, a
so
sign
it's
out in
151.
front of it would be enough.
We've got a couple things that we're gonna try to do different this time.
One more motion?
Motion we adjourn.